37 6 days pregnant wanting to leave my husband and move to another state. Now. Please leave now, make sure your tires are good, fill your gas tank, take what money is yours, take your phone, laptop, tablet and just in case get a temporary phone. In case he turns yours off and also he can't track any conversations you're having, and please have someone that you can contact at any time of the day or night to check in with or in case you go into labor. My mom mode just kicked in, please let us know when you get back to your Texas home. Just so we know you're with your village. 1. You are free to leave. Go now. Before you do, make sure you have an OB-GYN lined up for the birth. 2. He cannot take the baby away because moving in with your parents is not neglect or anything negative. 3. He can sue for custody and likely end up with partial custody, because courts generally want kids to know both their parents. This is true whether or not you ask for child support. Just put the dogs in the car and go. You do not want to be at this man's mercy while you are at your most vulnerable. He can't stop you unless he can trick you. Move before the baby is born. Once the baby is born, he can control where you can move with the baby. You have a ton of control by moving prior. Take the dogs with you. Leave now. Immediately. Go to Texas. After the baby is born, file for divorce, custody and child support. Never look back. I seriously doubt he wants to be newly single and raising a newborn. Keep copies of all text messages. Keep your head on straight and do not send him emotional or self-incriminating texts. Next time he leaves the house, go and drive to TX with the dogs. Don't worry about getting all the baby stuff. Just grab what you easily can and go. It is much harder to leave after you have the baby. Don't listen to anything he says. You can move to Texas and get child support and he won't get custody. But you should talk to a lawyer today. In some states it could be better to move before the birth, so you should find out if that's the case in Ohio. You are free to leave now. Once you have a baby, absolutely not. Go. If there is gonna be a custody battle, let it be on your home turf. Pack your shit including the dogs and leave. Now. You can give birth at any time. Especially under a lot of stress. Get to your family ASAP and good luck. Custody and everything else will be worked out later. He's not going to be able to take your baby. You will not be forced to go back to Ohio. But if you don't leave, your hands will be tied because of custody. I am not a lawyer but speaking for experience. Go now. Figure everything else out later. Go to Texas ASAP. Bring proof of pregnancy from your current doctor with you. File for Medicaid as soon as you get there. You're going to be fine, just get out of Ohio ASAP. Go now before the baby is born. Get off Reddit, pack your stuff, and get out of Dodge. Good luck. Before you leave, take all important papers with you. Your SS card, insurance, marriage license, your birth cert, your passport, your pet's current shot records, your credit card statement. Change your address before you leave. Figure out your cash because he will have you removed from banking and your bank cards will probably get declined. Make sure you have enough money for gas to get to Texas. Good luck. It's a trick. Leave ASAP. Go for child support. Stay with your support system. Please don't take the dogs if they aren't legally yours. Call and report him for animal abuse. Go to Texas. Give birth. Wait 6 months from the day you moved to Texas and file for divorce. Once Texas is your home state for 6 months and the baby is born in Texas, Ohio will have no jurisdiction and no judge will order you back. To prevent him from filing in Ohio, play nice, say what he wants to hear but don't agree to anything in text. Tell him you just want to go back to Texas for family support and will not take him to court for child support or custody. The moment that baby takes a breath in Ohio, you are stuck. Go now. It's better to ask for forgiveness rather than get permission. Get your essentials and just leave with the dogs. Also work out a plan for any money in joint bank accounts. Go fill up the car, check the tires. Good luck. Not a chance in hell that he will voluntarily pay child support. Look online and find a free legal service. Don't take what he says as gospel because he'll lie to protect his own interests, not yours. My friend did this to Texas from another state to give birth. Speak to a family lawyer in the city where you are moving in Texas ASAP. Our other friend is in family law and guided her through the process. Can he even afford a lawyer to do the things he's threatened? It would cost a fortune to deal with custody of a child living in another state. Make sure you stop every 2-3 hours to get out of the car and walk a little bit. You don't need to get a blood clot in a leg from all the sitting. Check with your Rob whether they recommend anything else for prevention. Take dogs and important documents. Agree to everything he says. Get a lawyer and worry about everything else later. He can't just take the baby away. Especially a newborn from its mother. Just because you left him, no judge would approve that. Grab your shit, jump in the car and go. Baby isn't born, he can't do anything to stop you, and it will be better for you to give birth with a support system in place. He will have to prove you are a bad parent to have custody stripped from you. Saying the baby was not conceived in love is such a low blow. Leave now and make sure that the baby is born into love. In TX with all your supports by your side. Run. Make sure he is not home, stuff everything in the car and run home. Once you are surrounded by love and support, you will be able to think more rationally. Let your family help you get a lawyer. Get a restraining order against your husband for both you and the baby. But you need to do it now. Move. Do not have the baby in Ohio. Leave right now. You need to go before you give birth. If you give birth in Ohio, you won't be allowed to leave the state with the baby. Go to Texas, file for support and block him. Don't have him sign a birth certificate. Go back home and file for custody in Texas. He's lying to you about the lawyer, and you can make his life hell through the system on paying child support. Do you have anyone that can fly up and help you drive down? Make sure you leave a note saying you took dogs to dog park. He will not look for you for a while and you get a good head start. Please post your Cash App or something so we can help you get to Texas. If you have access to your mutual marital funds, go drain the account and leave ASAP. No judgment here, but I recommend breastfeeding if you are able, because judges might look at that aspect if he tries to get immediate visitation. Get the hell out of there now. Statistics show pregnant women are more in danger than being murdered than at any time in their life. I fear for you. If that baby is born in TX, then TX law controls. Throw those dogs in the car and get moving. Now. He may have someone else already. Gather as much proof from electronics as you can. Get your important documents. See if a family member can drive up to meet you. It's so close to your due date that you will need help. Medicare will cover all your pre- and postnatal health care. It exists for women who are uninsured or underinsured. You need to get up and go now. If you need someone to hold your hand through leaving, can a woman's shelter resource, and they can help give you confidence to break through the doubts his lies have given you. If you are 24, can you not be covered still under your parents' health insurance? Move now. Do not concern yourself right now with insurance or a doctor. If you move before the baby is born, he can't force you to move back to Ohio. When you leave the state and arrive back in Texas, get your insurance situation figured out and then a doctor. Good luck. Go. Moving before giving birth will be easier for you legally and won't help him get custody in the slightest. I am concerned about you driving so far alone with 2 dogs at 38 weeks, especially the parts where you will be hours from the nearest hospital. Is there any way your family can drive or fly up so you can drive back together? If you end up going into labor in the middle of nowhere, having another person there would be way better than being alone.